Morning, folks. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll just wait for people to come on in. Got people joining. Thanks for joining us, folks, wherever you're joining us from. Just give it a few more seconds as we've got people coming in. Good morning, everyone. Okay, we've still got a few people coming in. Hi, Peter. Nice to see you. Hi, Helena. Okay, great. I think we'll make a start. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us, or good afternoon, or even good evening to you, depending on where you're joining us from. My name's Sarah Frost. I'm Naturtrek's marketing manager, and we're back in Europe for our 17th virtual tour, today coming to you live from Lake Kerkini in Greece. As you can see, it's a beautiful morning there. The wind is calm, and I just can't wait to see what wildlife we have along the shoreline and also out on the lake, as we'll be venturing out onto it shortly. I'm also joined by my colleague, David Phillips. Now, David, you oversee several of our tours to Greece, and this is somewhere that you were particularly keen to bring a virtual tour to, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, this is Kerkini is a region that's sort of so renowned now within Europe as being a sort of a birding hotspot, with all the breeding birds there and the passage birds on migration going through. So I'm really keen to sort of show people what Kerkini looks like, and I think we've got a cracking day for it. As we've spoken to the guys over there, and you know, the temperatures now are rising. It's in the 20s. It's blue sky. It's beautiful over there. So yeah, I'm really keen to showcase what we've got over there. We do, in fact, as you say, run several tours. It mostly in this April, May time, the springtime, like we are now, to see the migrating birds and the nesting breeding birds. And we also run tours that go to other regions of northern Greece. We principally fly into Thessaloniki on our tours and spend, which is about a 3-hour flight from the UK, and it's about an hour and a half's drive from there up to Lake Kerkini. So it's a very convenient and easy place to go to. We, as I say, have 3 tours there in the spring. We also run an autumn tour as well. For different migrants that are coming back through in the autumn when the lake levels are different. But this morning, yep, we're joined by Nikos, our boat driver and local birder, who many of you who travel to this region will know well, and Christos, who's a great all-round naturalist over there. So I'll hand you over to them to introduce the beautiful region of northern Greece that is Lake Kerkini. Thank you.
So, good morning. How are you? I hope everybody's good. Let's see. We're in Kerkini Lake. Actually, we're on Kerkini Lake National Park, one of the most amazing places to be in Greece. Now we are on Aliakmonas River. We are on the delta of Strimonas River. We are on the delta of Strimonas River. And as it goes, this is the main river feeding Lake Kerkini. And on my back, you can see I have a part at least of the riparian forest. And National Park of Kerkini is not only about the lake. We also have 2 major mountains. One of it is the Bellis Mountain, which you can see now on our other camera. And the other mountain also is Krusia. So you'll take a look of that. Kerkini is an amazing place because over here we can understand and see how human interactions how intervene with the birds, and not only the birds, of course. Let me start with some historical tips about the lake. It was created, let's say, around the 1930s. Then they did it in order to distress about malaria issues they had, in order to have water about the crops. That was the first dam that was made then, and after that they created a new dam in around 1980. This is the Lithotopos Dam. When you come here, you will see that. So this man-made lake is an amazing example of how human interact with nature, how nature can be in its full glory, let's say. I am working in Kerkini as a nature guide, and Nikos is a guide also, but he is also the captain of our boat. So let's see what we can get today. Right behind me, there is a part of the riparian forest. Over here, in these days, many birds are nesting. And by that, I mean birds like the great cormorant, the pygmy cormorant, spaco herons, spoonbills. We also have, give me one sec. We also have little egrets. We also have the great egret, the gray heron, I'm sorry, and many other species. We'll try to show you a few of them. Of course, the major bird for this lake is the Dalmatian Pelican, which is a big rarity for Europe, let's say. And over here, it's one of the places where he can be safe, since their numbers have been going down for the last years. But on the last 10 almost years, this bird is doing really well, not only in Kerkini, but in Greece in general. Let me see what we have now.
Cormorants.
Okay, now you can see a nest of some cormorants on the other camera. I think I also forgot about the pygmy cormorants that they nest here too. So our main thinking is to get our boat, and with our boat we'll go as the Strimonas River flows into Kerkini, and by that we'll get inside the riparian forest. From over there you will see some birds that they nest, and after that we'll go to the man-made structures that we have created about the Dalmatian pelicans and the white pelicans in order for them to breed. Of course, since it is the breeding season, we cannot get really close to the Dalmatian and the white ones, but you will get a decent view, at least with the scope. I don't know if you would like to ask something about.
Okay.
Good
The
morning.
bird you have in the
also.
scope there that's just flown left, flown right.
Yes, it's a good morning also from Nikos. I'm Nikos speaking. Cattle egret.
Cattle egret. Thank you.
Yes,
I thought it was.
yes. Let's see what else we can see from this point of view.
It looks like a beautiful morning there, Christos and Nikos. Yeah,
yes, it is. It's really
scan the shoreline and see what else we've got around.
Yeah, this is an amazing morning, and above us, I don't know if you can get him. This is Dalmatian Pelican. Just passed over. I'm not sure if I got it.
just gone.
There we go.
They are truly amazing birds. The only way to get how big they are is if you get here, because imagine that they have a wingspan of around 3.2 meters, which is a huge. Actually, it is the second biggest wingspan in the bird kingdom. So, yeah, by coming into Kerkini, you will have them for sure flying above you, and I'm sure this will amaze you.
Now I have spot two nests. I can see gray heron and cormorants to the left. Let's see what else is there. I can find something below. What is in the pole?
The great cormorants are here by the thousands. Actually, an estimation would be something around 1.5 to 2,000 birds here. So it's a big number.
Cattle egret now sitting on the pole.
And the pygmy cormorants, the sort of numbers you have of those?
Almost 2,000 nesting in the area, 2,000 pygmy.
We also have glossy ibis, but today from the spot where we are, we cannot spot them. But maybe if we are lucky with the boat, we can get one. Let's see.
And we're looking at their nests, Christos and Nikos. So have the young hatched yet? Are they feeding their young? Yeah.
Regarding the cormorants, yes. Regarding the pelicans, I think they have started, yes. Actually, most of the cormorants, the juveniles have already grown. Let's see what else we can get. And in the meantime, let me give you a few details regarding the other species we have also. So, I don't know if you know, but Greece in general has a huge biodiversity, almost no categories. For example, if we go into the plants, Greece has more than 6,800 species, and this is at least the species we know up to now, because in the next years, I'm sure we're going to discover more. Regarding Kerkini only, it has almost 1,500 species of plants. So it is a big number, I would say. Regarding the insects, oh my God, it's almost unexplored, I would say, because up to now we have something around 4,500 species, but believe me, this can easily grow higher than that. Regarding the moths, we get up to around 500 species, which is a unique number. Of course, the area is famous about its butterflies, and many researchers come for them. I think we have something around 130, 140 species. I think it goes somewhere there about this. The dragonfly is also in the area. There are around 50 species. Regarding birds, of course, I'm sorry, I should start with them. We have more than 300 species. Regarding also the fish, we have 30 to 35, and believe me, Greece in general has more than 90 freshwater species, which is a unique number if you consider the size of Greece also. Regarding the reptiles and the amphibians, we go more than 45 for sure. I think we are around 52 in order to be accurate about that. And of course, many of them are new species for the science, because as I told you, Greece in general, in many categories, is still unexplored, and we need to explore it fully. So you're always welcome to join and try to explore.
And Christos, Ruth Anders is asking, what raptors do you have in the area, if any?
Oh, we have many. We have a pair of white-tailed eagles. We also have the lesser spotted eagle. We also have the Levant sparrows, the Levant sparrowhawk, I'm sorry. We also have the red-footed falcon. We have of course, we have kestrels. What's the first that come onto my mind? I would say. We have honey buzzards. We have the short-toed snake eagle. Let me think. Of course, regarding the owls, we have many species. We have eagle owls, barn owls, strix owl, scops owl, the little owl, the long-eared owl. I think I said all about the owls.
And do most of these raptors breed within the area?
All I have mentioned up to now, yes, they breed.
Right.
The booted eagle also, they breed also.
Oh, I thought we had something in the scope there, but we don't. That's great, Christos. Should we get on out onto the lake and see what we can see from the boat?
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
dying to see all of these pelicans. Whenever I think of Lake Kerkini, I just think of huge congregations of pelicans. And of course, it's an incredibly important area for them, isn't it?
Regarding the springtime, of course, if you come to the lake, you will see the pelicans, but it's not that easy to get them in a real close-up distance. And by close-up, I mean just inches away. So in order to get the pelicans really close, you have to come in the winter time. Now you will get to see them. You will get to see them feeding, or you will get to see them resting, but they don't come close to the boats. Over here, they have a unique connection with fishermen, and that's how we get a connection with them also, because fishermen used to feed the pelicans. So that's why the pelicans on their own, they know that when fishermen are inside the lake, they gather around the boats and they wait for the fishermen to give them something as a treat. So yeah, on winter time, you can get really close to them. Now, you will get them, let's say, to a few meters away. So yeah, it depends.
And why do the fishermen have this relationship with the pelicans? Why are they feeding them?
Because in this lake, I would say that they always respected the animals. So when they have fish, and this lake has a huge amounts of fish, they always treat them good.
Right.
So
sometimes they cannot sell their fish and give it back to to the birds. I have spotted a pygmy cormorant. You can see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can we stay
Oh,
a
yes.
few more minutes, couple of minutes, just to check if there are other birds here?
So Nikos is just scanning to see what other birds we can find, folks. See what else we have along the shoreline. I just wish that I was there with a cup of coffee and relaxing in the sun. Much nicer weather than we've had in the UK, at least for the last few days.
It would be amazing to have you here, but have in mind, although you don't get it from cameras, it's getting really hot today here. We are waiting to get around 30 degrees. So now it's around 11 o'clock or maybe 11:30. I don't remember exactly where we are. So yeah, now it's starting to get really, really hot. And this is the main reason why we don't have so many of the pelicans around us. In this time of the day, they have started roaming on the lake in order to feed.
Yeah. Oh, is that a night heron?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Just
nesting.
up slightly.
Yeah,
Oh, lovely. Very nice.
And actually, the pelicans, they have a really unique relationship with the cormorants. The pelicans, they're huge and they are not good divers, let's say. So in order to be able to get the fish, I mean the fish that they're really deep, in order to get them, they have to use the cormorants for that. The cormorants, as you know, they're really good divers. So they gather together, the cormorants get the fish, they get them higher in the level of the water, and by that, both species can feed together. So yeah, the pelicans take a little advantage of the great cormorants, but that's beneficial. Now, since it's getting hot, I have started inspecting about the raptor. Let's see if we're lucky and we get anything. But for now, I don't see any. Usually the white-tailed eagles come early in the morning, get some fish, and then they go back to the nest. We saw them in the morning, but now let's see what we'll get.
Are there many mammals about around the lake? I believe golden jackal and wildcat are possible.
Yes, it's let's say it is the kingdom of the golden jackal over here. Actually, let's say if you have around 4 or 5 days, it's almost sure that you will get a jackal. And I'm not saying about getting a jackal on nighttime, because on nighttime is a piece of cake to see them because, first of all, you hear them howling all around the lake. But even on daytime, you have many good chances to get them.
Super. That's a lovely view of the heron there.
And of
Dylan.
course,
Yeah, that's a lovely view.
And of course, on the mountains around us, the grey wolf still lives here.
Oh, yeah.
But for them, I cannot guarantee that you will get to see them. Actually, on the last days, we have a brown bear that is close to the village of Kerkini. Many people have seen it. Personally, I'm so sorry, but I haven't seen it. But I will try tomorrow again. Who knows, maybe I'll get here. Yeah, the mammal diversity is huge. I think we go up to around 55 species.
Mhm.
Maybe more. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's a little bit more. But we're somewhere there.
Okay, Christos, let's get out onto the lake.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, let's start moving
let's see what we've got
in order to see what
out
else
on the
we can get.
water. Slightly ambitious, folks, but we like to push. Well, should I say push the boat out? No pun intended. We like to try and challenge ourselves, as you probably saw if you joined us on Friday for our virtual tour of Machu Picchu, which was amazing that it worked. But likewise, we're going to try and take you out on the boat here for some cruising and bird watching from on board our boat.
So this is one of the traditional boats that.
Yes, it's made especially for the lake, and its hull is flat, and by that we can go in the shallows and navigate easily. Of course, one of the amazing things you can see this time of the year are the water lilies. We'll try to show you a few. Just one sec. Now we are all inside the boat. On my back, you can see the river, and if I turn from the other side, this is the Kerkini Lake. So this is the delta, and now we're getting inside the lake.
This is lovely. I feel like I'm with you.
Here you are. Of course, one of the things you get to see here is the cormorant trees. I don't know if you have ever seen a cormorant tree, but here you can get many of them. It's a new species for science, so.
The cormorant tree.
Of course, depending on the years, you can get different type of trees, like spoonbill trees or night heron trees, stuff like that.
We've got some lovely comments coming in, Christos and Nikos. Alison says, it looks so peaceful. And Helena says, I really, really wish I was there. So do I, Helena. Ray Thomas asks, do the water levels drop during the year? And if so, does that affect the bird life?
Yes, usually you will get the lowest of the water level on winter time, and the highest would be on late spring and summer. Although this can be different from year to year. For example, this year we have a really high water level, and we expect more water to come because the snows have not melted yet. So we'll see how this will go. But yeah, depending on the weather, that's the places of the nest will change. So
I believe the nesting sort of platforms and
Nikos
islands that were created.
on the scope.
Sorry, Christos.
No, I just said that Nikos has a spoonbill on the scope.
Ah, yes, yes. Beautiful.
Of course,
Sorry for
quite
interrupting you.
tricky when you're in a moving vessel to maintain.
That's a
additional
difficult
scope.
part.
You're doing well, Nikos. Thank you.
I'm holding it
That's
strong.
very good.
Yeah.
We make a few stops as we go into the riparian forest. So by making the stops, we lose the. By not having the engine, it will be better, I suppose, in the view you get. But yeah, Nikos is trying his best for having that.
That's very good to hold that steady in the boat. You can see the spoonbill feeding there, quite classic, beautiful.
I forgot to mention the great crested grebes, that they nest over here in great numbers. And usually we have a few couples of black-eared grebes.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have the black tern. We also have the white-tipped black tern.
Mm-hmm.
The common tern, of course. And let's see if we are likely to get an aggregation of cormorants and pelicans feeding. I cannot guarantee that, but if you get here, I can guarantee you will get it here.
Πάμε.
So now, if you can see from the other camera, we have almost ended the river, and now we're getting into the riparian forest. So if you see on my back, that's where we're heading now.
Oh, we've been asked. Could you help identify some of the gulls that we're seeing in the scope view? Actually, there were a few gulls flew through.
Black-headed gulls.
Black-headed gulls, yes, yeah.
And also the yellow-legged gull.
Yellow.
Of course, yes. So the yellow legs, very similar to our herring gull. Do you get any waders?
Yes, but that's not the time for them, let's say.
It's more in the winter period, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in the winter time, the lake is full of ducks. And on the winter time that the water level is lower, it has huge mudlands. So that's why we get the waders then.
Ah, yes.
They
And you have
exist
quite a lot
now
of geese
also,
as
but,
well, of course, in the winter period.
Yeah.
Geese and ducks.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have some geese even now. Yesterday we saw 10 of them. Answer is I think it's the gray lag.
Gray lag, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 2 Dalmatian pelicans.
Ah,
It's really nice.
super.
Είναι... Χρήστο, δες με τα κιάλια. Είναι Δαλματίας ή είναι...
I think the one on the left is Dalmatian. I think the white, the other is a white. Give me 1 sec to check with my binoculars.
Both Dalmatian, yes.
Yeah, both are Dalmatian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Christos, can you just remind us the name of the river that joins the lake?
Trimonas.
Rimona.
Yeah.
Rimonas.
Rimonas. I'll leave Christoph to the pronunciation.
And on my back, the mountain you see is Bellas.
Bellas. So this is the border with Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, there.
Over the back of that
correct.
mountain. Yeah.
Actually, the ridge line is the border.
Mm.
So whatever you see is from the Greek side, and all the other on the back is in Bulgaria. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, in a minute or two, I will get to show you the cormorant tree I was saying about. So no worries, you will see that species also.
Okay. I imagine there are many very interesting breeding birds up there in the forests as well, around the lake.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
The golden oriole is present for sure. We have so many cuckoos. Of course, we have bee eaters by almost by the thousands, I would say.
Wow.
Wow.
The golden orioles also, they are in big numbers, but of course, as you know, they're not that easy to get pictures of them. For sure, you can get a glimpse, though. We have many species of shrike also.
Mm-hmm.
We have the red-backed shrike, we have the masked shrike, we have the
Woodchuck. Woodchuck shrike.
the woodchuck shrike, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get the English name. I'm so sorry, but I always know the scientific names. I want to say about the minor, but I don't get the English name to say it. Anyway,
Sure.
yes, if you see now from the other camera, just past the tree with some juvenile. Over there. And now we are going to see some fishermen also, but they have laid their eggs. Actually, there are really strict regulations regarding the fishing inside the lake. The fishing started just 2 days ago. Up to now, it was forbidden. And by that, we want to keep the population of fish high so we can keep also the birds and the pelicans in the area. So yeah, the fish has just started 2 days ago. So now many fishermen are inside. If you check from the other camera, you will see them ahead of us. And Nikos is showing them to you from the scope.
Yeah. Little do they know that they are being watched around the world by a group of avid wildlife enthusiasts.
Τον Πελεκάνο,
And there is a Dalmatian Pelican from us, because has him on the scope also.
Nicola Tippler is asking, how is the boat being propelled? Yes, do you have an engine? It's very, very silent.
Yeah.
Yes, of course we have an engine, yes.
Yes.
New technology.
Is it electric or?
No, it's not electric. If we want to go inside the riparian forest, furthermore, we are going to row, but today we're not going to row, so we're staying in the edges. Because there are some night herons on the right side, if we can get them. He's fishing. Give me 1 sec, we'll try to do that. Because now he's trying to get the night heron.
Oh,
yeah, not easy, but yeah, well done.
Then we don't have good light, so we have to change our.
Βασίλη,
άλλαξε λίγο πλευρά.
Από
the other side.
From my camera, you cannot see him. He's on my back now, but we'll try to get him. He's standing on a huge truck.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's searching for fish. In a minute, we'll have better light, so you will get a better view of him.
Wow, that's very nice. And how many night herons did you say you had, Christos? There's a good population here.
It is a huge population, actually, yes. I think we have more than 500 nests. So I think he got something, and he ate it. I don't know what he did get, but he ate it. As you can see, the birds, they live calmly with us being that close.
Yeah.
Since they have used about the fishermen, they have used our boats also, and they don't mind. I imagine that we are now almost 7 to 10 meters away from the night heron.
Lovely clear view.
Mm. And Maggie Gilvray is asking, can you remind us of the difference between the Dalmatian and the great white pelican?
If they fly over, it's easy, let's say, to recognize them because of the different of the difference they have regarding the black they have under their wings. Regarding spotting them with your eyes standing, you will see that Dalmatian has an interesting coop, let's say. He has kind of a curly hair, I would say. And the white is really smooth on his head. Besides that, if we are on the breeding season, the Dalmatians have a red throat. I'm not sure if I answered properly, Maggie.
Κύριε Βασίλη, για να πάμε στο...
Ah, Nico, there is a nest over there. Cormorants, I think. Let us see. Give us 1 minute. Let's see if Nikos can scope a nest we have of the cormorants. We have some juvenile. Yeah, I'm sorry, we cannot get these.
No.
But you'll get them when you get here. No worries.
What are these trees that we see here? What species of tree?
The one I have now on my back, and if you get it, it's a wild olive tree. But in general, we have many Tamarix SP,
Tamarisk, yeah.
and wild olive trees.
And in the winter time, when the water level drops, are they are their bases exposed, or are they always in water?
No, on the winter time, all this area where we are now, it's fully exposed. Actually, it's mud land or dry land.
Ah.
Right.
And that's why the birds are taking advantage of that. And now they feel safe nesting over here because they cannot be reached from any predators.
And Jenny Gibb asks, does the lake have any little bitterns?
Yes, we do, of course, yes. Now we won't spot any from the area where we are, but yes, of course, if you come here, you will see the little bit of also. And you can see the fishermen.
Yeah.
The other camera. And now Nikos has a white pelican. We're trying.
Great.
So
Κόψε λίγο.
I think he got it, but do you see him?
Yeah. Great view. It is difficult to keep a scope still when you're on the boat. So I think Nikos is doing a good job.
He's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Believe me, being on a boat,
Yeah.
with any movement it moves, yeah, it's really difficult. But yeah, this guy we're seeing in front of us, the white pelican, he's fishing. Just before he got something, but I don't know if you got it on camera.
Yeah, we saw, just got the end of it, I think.
Okay, okay.
I'll add the other camera just so you can see where that pelican is in relation to the boat.
They're magnificent animals. The whites come on the springtime in order to breed, and they migrate later on. But even in winter time, you can get at least, I don't know, 50 birds or something like that stays in the lake, and they overwinter here. So yeah, even in the winter time, you can get to see them. So after that, we will try to show you the nesting platforms of the Dalmatian and white pelicans, because it's trying to do that. Obviously, we cannot get really close to them because, as I told you, it is the breeding season, and we don't want to disturb them.
Μην κουνιέστε, μην κουνιέστε.
Okay, περίμενε. Give us 1 sec. So yeah, Nikos has one Dalmatian. Is that Nikos? Flying?
Very nice.
Ah,
Πού το έχασα. I
okay.
lost it.
Oh, too
Flying
fast for you, Nikos. It's too fast for you.
Too fast, yeah.
That's fine. No
Okay,
worries.
let's,
Nico, would you like to point the platforms?
yeah.
Για να μπορεί να βλέπει. Όχι, ευθεία από εκεί. Πώς είναι από εκεί. Give us 1 sec. Βάλω το φως στην πλάτη μου. Okay, so we'll make a turn, and by that we'll have the light on our back, so we can show you the platforms.
Θα βγούμε από εδώ και θα πάμε χαμηλά κάτω στις...
I don't know if you have any questions.
Για να έχουμε το φως από εκεί.
So these are artificial platforms that were constructed to enable the Dalmatian pelicans to
yes,
nest
that
on.
is correct. That's correct.
2003.
In 2003, and they're high above the water level, so this water will never encroach upon them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And correct me, Nikos, if I'm wrong, and 2 or 3 years ago, the wooden platform was created.
Yeah, collapsed. The old one collapsed,
Yeah,
and
and they created
built a new one.
Okay. So yeah, the wooden platform you see was recreated 2 or 3 years ago, and the big one, which is made from stones, was made in 2003.
And is it only Dalmatian pelicans that nest on them? Do the great white pelicans or any of the other species?
They're both. They're both.
Both species breeding.
Yeah.
Close to 200 pairs, Dalmatian pelicans, and last year we had 30 white pelicans, the great white pelicans. It's a really good job, great job. The management authority protect the area very good. It's great to have this both species breeding here.
And it's great that it brings plenty of people to come to see them and bring in money for ecotourism.
Exactly.
To help support local people like yourselves who are out there doing showing us the sites.
I think the locals truly show appreciation. One of the areas in Greece where the locals know that this is helpful for their community.
Yeah. So I understand that there's very little hunting or anything like that in this area because
there's
people recognize the importance.
Almost no hunting.
Yeah.
And by that I also mean there's not even illegal hunting in the area. Just really few incidents nowadays. Actually, the hunting was forbidden from around 1980, somewhere around there. So, yeah.
Okay.
All the animals are pretty safe in this area.
Yeah, that's good to hear. We've got a question about kingfishers. Do you see many kingfishers around the lake?
Yes, and they also nest over here. Actually, yesterday we saw one. Today, we haven't yet, but even if we do, with scoping, sometimes it's on the go, of course. Yes, they even reach.
I think we may have broken up there a bit.
Yeah, I think we've actually lost Christos's camera just for a second, but we still have the other one. We've still got the main one.
Right.
But Christos, you can probably hear us from this camera anyway. We can't hear you anymore, but hopefully you'll reconnect in a second and we'll just continue enjoying the view.
Mm.
It's incredibly peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Τι έγινε?
Τελείωσαν τα δεδομένα μου, τα έφαγε όλα και έκλεισε.
Δεν γίνεται. Έλα πάρε το δικό μου.
Oh, we have the scope back, so we can add that.
Πάρε αυτό.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm sorry, but I had a technical issue with my cell phone. It just died.
No.
But that's why
dear.
we have, yeah, but that's why we have more. So no worries.
So it's the wooden platform we can see now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just in a minute or two, we're going to make a stop, and you are going to have a proper view of the nest of the pelicans.
Ah.
Wow.
Good.
I can't believe we're at 45 minutes in already. This is just absolutely flying by. Folks, if any of you need to pop off, I know one or two of you have mentioned that you need to go. These tours are free to join, as you all know. I'll pop the donation link into the chat if any of you would like to leave a donation or a tip. But if you don't worry about tearing yourself away now, I will send this in an email following up from the virtual tour this morning.
I didn't even understand that 45 minutes have passed. Believe me. Yeah. So now we're about to making our stops. So give us a few more seconds.
Sure.
And you will get a proper view.
Yeah. A comment's been raised about the fishing in the lake there. Presumably, is it quite tightly controlled as to how many fishermen are allowed to take to be able to sustain populations there?
There are strict regulations regarding the fish, yes. I don't have a number to give you about the kilos, but for sure there are certain dates and certain ways that you can fish on the lake. Give me 1 sec. Nico, έχεις συγκεκριμένο όριο με κιλά ψαριών που να φτιάχνουμε?
Με κιλά. Ναι, εκατοστά είναι. Είμαστε εκατοστά από τα ψάρια. Πόσα εκατοστά για το ψάρεμα επιτρέπεται? 17 centimeters.
And there is a certain regulation regarding the size of the fish, yes.
Yeah.
Depending on the species of the fish, they have to be higher than a certain length, let's say, in order for the fishermen to keep them and sell them also. So yeah, now we're here, and Nikos is doing his best in order for you to see the nests of the pelicans.
All Dalmatian nesting.
Now he has Dalmatians only. Can you see them?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see them, Christos. Jenny Gibb actually asks another question about them. How long does it take the young pelicans to fledge? And do they stay with their parents for some time after, or are they left to be independent quite quickly? How does it work?
They get independent quite quickly. Usually they have started the breeding preparations from February, let's say, and they had their first clutches around the end of March or mid-April. That has to do with the weather we have in general. So now many birds, after I would say around 40 or 45 days, they're ready to fledge. And after that, they are pretty much independent, let's say.
Do the adults then have a second brood?
Give me 1 sec. Nico, have you ever seen a second brood? Is the δεύτερη γενιά κατευθείαν? Έχεις δει δεύτερη γέννα από το ίδιο ζευγάρι ποτέ?
Από Pelicans, όχι.
No, no. Not even Nikos has ever seen a second brood.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really calm over here. I wish you would be able to be here to get the feeling of this.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Pamela Gardner's actually commenting on that and saying how peaceful it looks, but she's asking, does it get crowded with tourists in normal times, or is it always fairly tranquil?
No, I wouldn't say it gets crowded. The lake is huge, so even when tourists are here, there are many harbors, so you won't see it being crowded. It's always tranquil like that. If it was, let's say, a Saturday or a Sunday, okay, maybe there will be 2 or 3 more boats, but something like that, imagine in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Do you get many visitors from within Greece? Is there an national interest in the birds, as well as people, international birders?
Unfortunately, the Greeks, I won't say that they know the treasures we have that well. There are, of course, people that they're naturalists, but regarding the general public, usually they don't have a clue about the treasures we have.
And on that sort of point, is there a program to educate the children, particularly around the lake area, in the ecology of the lake, and prepare them to be guides like yourself?
Yeah, fortunately, especially in the last 5 or 10 years, many steps have been made regarding that. And now I would say yes, that the new ages have a real good understanding of what treasures we have. So hopefully, as the generations pass, things can change in a more on a better way, let's say.
Excellent.
Because yeah, if we have people that roam around in nature, then we can have protection also. If we don't know what we have, then we cannot keep it. Nikos tried to find some terns, but that wasn't an easy task, let's say. So we'll try to go a little closer, so we get some views of the terns. I hope you enjoyed the pelicans.
Yes.
It's great.
At least with the digiscoping.
Yeah, I think considering what we're attempting to do here, it's been very, very good. I mean, watching something through on a boat in real life is hard enough. And trying to broadcast it hundreds and hundreds of miles away, or even thousands of miles away around the world is quite a challenge. So no, you're doing really well.
Above us, some common terns are flying, but there's no way we can show you these.
Yeah.
But give me one sec. But we have some wooden poles in the water, and let's see what terns we can get there. So one sec. We have some yellow-legged gulls, we have some black-headed gulls, some great-crested grebes, and I think I see only common terns. Just give us 1 minute. Στα δεξιά, on the right side, there are common terns, one black-headed gull somewhere over there, and if you go on the left side, there's a yellow-legged gull, some black-headed and common terns again. So
yes.
Give us a minute and we'll try to see them. Yeah, that's a common, but he's showing us his back. If you go to the left or to the right, there's one facing us.
Just while we're looking, we've got another question from Colin Campbell here, who asks if the surrounding area is good for hiking and wildlife watching.
Of course.
I'm sure it is, yeah, and of course, it's great for wildlife. And David, that's
There
where
there are many paths that you could go hiking. Even Mount Belest goes over 1,000 meters, so you can even see some species that live higher on the mountains. But yeah, the area in general is even good for just hikers. So yeah, I would totally suggest it. And of course, yeah, the bird species we have shown you today are the ones that live in the lake. There are many more around the area. The amazing thing with Greece in general is that if you just travel a few kilometers, you can travel through many habitats. So by traveling with your car, let's say, I don't know, not more than half an hour, you can change totally the habitats you have in front of you. You can go from the alpines to the to get to see some meadows, to get some see the rivers, to get some see to get the lake. Even the sea is not that far away from Kerkini. As you mentioned in the beginning, it's only 1 to 1.5 hour drive from the airport. So Thessaloniki area is by the sea. So yeah, the diversity is huge and everything is pretty close. So you just have to choose what would you like to see.
And I'm sure it's different in all the different seasons. There's something to see in
Yes,
every
yes,
season.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
As you know, yeah, every season you can
Yeah.
get something different. Μπορείς να δείξεις ένα νύφαδο, ένα κίτρινο. And let's try to show you some of the water lilies. They're just starting to bloom. Not many have bloomed yet, so we're anticipating for them. But imagine that if you come on the right time, you can see the lake fully covered of them. So you can get either the yellow ones or the white ones, and you can have a blanket of yellows in front of you or white, which is amazing. If you search for some pictures of that, I'm sure you will get what I mean. But for now, since they have not bloomed yet, we cannot show you that.
Yeah.
But we're anticipating them to bloom around 2 weeks or 3, something like that.
Beautiful.
David, just in our last few minutes here, we've got a question for you from Christine Osborne asking about our tours in Greece and specifically to Lake Kerkini. Do our holidays explore the surrounding area or are they wholly on the lake?
Oh, no, absolutely. They do explore the surrounding areas. They go to other areas. There's some mountains to the west, or small mountains to the left, to the west, which have got some great birding. Also going up towards the Bulgarian border, there's some sort of high mountain areas, as you can see, in fact, in the image there. We explore all around that area on the different tours that we do in Kerkini. We also do another trip, which is our Spring in Northern Greece, which visits Kerkini as part of a longer tour, which goes over to the Evros Delta over near the Turkish border. Also goes to the coastal lagoons and deciduous forests there. So you can do Kerkini as part of a longer trip on our Spring in Northern Greece tour. But certainly, yeah, the trips we do around Kerkini explore the wider area as well. It's not just about the birds that are on the lake, which is obviously what we're seeing this morning. Our autumn tour that we do in November is one that's quite popular because it's obviously a lovely time of year to be out in somewhere warm and almost sort of Mediterranean, as opposed to being in the UK when in November it's dark and cold. And at that time of year, the lake level is much lower. There's a lot more water, so it's sort of a lot more sort of mud flats, and you've got more waders and ducks and geese, and particularly the lesser white-fronted geese that come through at that time. They use it as a staging post on their way over towards the sort of eastern Evros Delta area. So they call in there, and they're one of the sort of star attractions of that autumn tour.
One small interruption.
Yep.
In the last 3 years, the geese, they don't go to Evros anymore. They stay almost fully in Kerkini.
Right, there you go.
And this is, yeah, the only area in Europe where you could get to see them. Actually, the last year they flew towards Evros, and everybody was amazed because, as you know, we have trackers, so we get to see what is happening. They went there for almost a week, but they decided to come back. So yeah, we were all happy here in Kerkini that we had them for almost the entire winter time.
So things are changing.
Yeah,
and of
things
course
are
you
changing.
manage the lake area so well that yes, a lot of the birds thrive there, and perhaps more so than in other areas, so they're attracted to stay there.
If they love our lake, believe me, we're happy. I mean, it's really a blessing to have them here. I suppose the group of us who are discussing are know, but these geese are really low in numbers. We're discussing about 120 to 150 birds, and that's what is left in Europe nowadays. So yeah, it's a big rarity, and let's hope we will be able to have them for the next generations. But let's see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Do you have any other questions?
I think that's everything, Christos. And yeah, I'm just so pleased that we've managed to make this work. I must admit, I was really quite skeptical when we first came up with this idea of doing a live virtual tour from the middle of Lake Kerkini, but it's worked so well, and it's hopefully giving you all at home some wonderful escapism this morning. And we must thank Nikos and Christos for bringing this tour to us today. A huge amount of preparation has gone into this, with obviously getting the boat ready, doing tests and trials and making sure the connection would work, and setting up the cameras. And of course, they've brought the fantastic weather for us as well. So thank you very much for organising that. And we've had so many lovely comments which have been sent to us already. Bill Grierson says, thanks very much for another very enjoyable hour of wildlife watching, great commentary and scope work. Lots of people are saying how brilliant it's been in the chat. Thank you all so much for saying how much you've enjoyed it. And I'll send you all an email with a link to the donation link. If you have enjoyed it, then we really do appreciate it if you can leave a small tip, which will go to Nikos, Christos and their team, and split between with themselves and Nature Trek as well. Please do join us for our next virtual tour, which will be on Wednesday in Le Brun in France, where we'll be looking for orchids, butterflies and birds. That's at 9 o'clock UK time. You can sign up on our virtual tours webpage on our website, and I'll send you a link to that as well in the same email this afternoon. Christos, Nikos, we must say thank you so much to both of you. Thank you all, everyone, for joining from home. It's been a wonderful way to spend the morning. I can't begin to think now that I've got to tear myself away from this and go and do my emails. But
we are glad. If you enjoyed it, believe me, we are glad, because we truly tried so much about this. Yeah, as you said, it was a miracle to do digiscoping from a boat, but yeah, Nikos made it, as you see. So yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully we will have you again, maybe on the next session. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much.
We hope
Thank you
so.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you again at the next virtual tour.
Bye from Greece. Bye from Kerkini.
Bye from Kerkini. Bye.
Bye, folks.